Hello, and welcome to Shelley's Sacred Space and our Tarot Tidbits. Today we're talking about the Chariot, card number 7, and card number 8, the Strength card in the Major Arcana. We are looking at 4 different decks. The first deck we're using is the traditional Rider-Waite, but the Radiant version. Our next deck is the Fifth Spirit Tarot, the Somnia Tarot, and the Green Witch Tarot. So let's get started. The Chariot is about choice and having control over that, choosing, being successful in that, being stuck, lack of confidence. It can represent change and it can represent fear of that change, lack of control, being ready to deal, being ready to make those choices, depending on which cards are around it. That is its meaning. Some of the symbolism that you can see in most of these cards, 3 of them have the black and white. The black and white actually represents the subconscious and the conscious. So when you're truly making a decision, connecting to both the subconscious and your conscious is a way to find a balanced and the right decision for the big picture. So that's kind of what we're looking at in this. And because it is a major arcana, it is usually a big moment in life. The other thing that you'll see in a few of them is the stars. So there's a star and there's the laurel leaves. The crown is made of leaves. That represents victory. The star represents connection to the spirit and the universe and having and victory over that. The crown and the scepter both indicate victory and authority. In this one, he has a candle. Now, normally this card is about fast moving. You'll see the wheels. That's about it's happening now. There's no wasting time. This one is different because it actually has people and they're in water and they are going 2 different directions. Again, that subconscious and that conscious can be conflicting directions to take. The controller, the person driving the chariot, is the one who decides which way you're going. And that's where it becomes a choice and a decision and making the right one and being successful in the one that you choose and driving that forward despite any conflict or any pushback doubts you might have. Okay, I really like this one for the modernization. What's really nice with the Fifth Spirit is it has connections to astrology and it's presented within the cards. So she has a moon, and over here is the symbol for Cancer. So that tells us that we're connected to intuition and Cancer and the moon, which is kind of nice. So that is the Chariot. Decisions, choices, fast moving, connection or balance between the conscious and the subconscious, trying to be fully informed, or the lack of, depending on how you read them and what cards are surrounding. And next, we're looking at the Strength card. The Strength card relates to balance, balancing the wild and desires with what's expected or how you present yourself. It's talking about trust, respect, reverence. It's a card about intelligence, assisting, both giving and receiving. And it can also be about lacking, lacking intelligence, lacking that balance, depending on the cards that are around it, or if you read it reversed. It can be that not having, and I hate this word, but control over that wild side. And that's what this card is really great because it's not about control over, it's about respect of. In the Rider-Waite, you have a woman who has her hands right by a lion's mouth. And the lion has a woman's hands on his face. So this can even go down to the balance of male and female, right? She's represented as the female, the intuition, the gentleness. The lion, being a male because of the mane, is represented as energy, activity, in this case, also wildness. Not that all men are wild or all male energy is wild, but that's just that indication, right? So it's a balance of. Each of the cards have flowers. Flowers represent beauty, nurturing, just having that calm and that peace. What's interesting about it is it's when you look at the balancing of the wild versus the not wild, or the action versus the inaction, the flowers actually represent that it takes time for this to grow and mature. It's not going to happen overnight, right? Um, the lion, like I said, represents the wild, passion, being untamed. This can be those ideas that you get that you're just like, this is amazing, the next best thing. And like all things, yes, you want the passion to grow, but if you don't take the time and nurture it properly, you just run wild. And that's where it doesn't come to fruition the best way it could because you didn't actually grow the roots in and nurture it in the proper way. So much information in this card. The infinity sign can represent the spirit and earth connection. It can also represent being unlimited. There is no limits to what you can do when you find that balance between nurturing and creating that passion and growing it into its full potential. The white gown or the white clothing, the white hair indicates purity. We also have wisdom with this card. So this card does represent balancing of that wild passion with being tamed and nurtured. So it's not so much of the case of controlling as much as it's picking the right times that those energies come out and having the respect. If you are a person who is trying to keep that passion contained because you don't want to step on toes, this card can indicate that you need to find a way to release that energy because you're not having the respect for it and the reverence that it needs to express itself. If you're a person who is very expressive and step on toes on your way, you may be reminded to nurture that energy a little bit and hold it back and let other people have a bit of time and then come in with more ideas and more energy. So it's a balancing act. The possibilities are unlimited when you have that balance. when you have that reverence, when you have that respect. One of my favorite cards. So thank you for joining me for the Chariot and the Strength card. Our next two cards will be card number 9 and 10, which is the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune. Until the next time, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.